Check me out on Spotify to listen to all the latest stream segments right there on your phone. Who am I? Pretend I have like a million live viewers right now, okay? 1984 has struck again! Oh my god, I'm being censored in every corner of the universe! Now to my 3 million viewers, while you're here, please don't forget to go and check out today's sponsor. Thank you, by the way, for my syndicated Blaze radio show. Anyway, I am censored. Where are conservatives given platforms anymore? Steven Crowder, you're virtually every fucking dumb shit conservative that gets stuck up in this brain rot of conservatives are being censored by big tech. Woo 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 woo. It's just every conservative that believes in this fucking big tech censorship thing. Stop. You all sound like subs, okay? How do you like them apples, conservatives? You guys are all obsessed with being the alpha, with being the doms? No. All right, when you bitch, moan, and whine about your made-up fairy tale that conservatives are actually the victim because you want some victim points for some reason, you look like a goddamn sub, okay? You're not only wrong, this bit is also just completely unfunny. Hey, Michael Alberto, I like you, but you're totally wrong on the censorship thing. We've talked about this like 80 million times, and every single time it's the same conversation, and no offense, but every time more information keeps coming out proving that I'm right. So anyway, we're going to go over some of this shit on big tech censorship. So this came out recently. Twitter's own research shows that it's a megaphone for the right, but it's complicated. Now, this gives you some breakdowns as to what is going on, but either way, what Twitter's new research found, Twitter is publicly sharing research findings today that show that the platform's algorithms amplify tweets from right-wing politicians and content from right-leaning news outlets more than people and content from the political left. This is important here also. It's true to recognize that the research did not identify, like, why this is necessarily. So it could quite be the case that part of the reason Twitter's algorithm favors right-leaning content more is because right-leaning content, being very sensationalized and everything else, tends to get more engagement. But then I would have to ask the conservative and say, okay, wait, hold up. So if you're getting enough engagement on your post to be picked up by the algorithm, so much so that now we have research showing that you are blowing up at a faster level due to algorithmic bias in your favor, where the fuck is the suppression? Where's the censorship? Where's the big spooky, mean Jack Dorsey silencing all the poor, frail conservatives that just want to ask questions about how Fauci is actually really a lizard from outer space that wants to inject the world with? I posted this on Twitter, and some people were trying to say, like, yeah, but it doesn't explain why. Maybe it's just more engagement. And yeah, okay. But it's not like I have one little single new study to prove that I was right all along. I've been saying this kind of shit, that big tech does not censor conservatives disproportionately for being conservative since like 2019. I'm going to take this W because I said this in 2019. I went to a Turning Point USA event where I was invited to speak called The Censored. And everyone was expecting that I come out and say everything in favor of censorship, but instead I actually like debunked the myths. And I've been taking shit for that ever since. And now, 2 years later, I'm here. I'm sipping my Mountain Dew. I'm puffing my pipe. And I'm still being proven right. Yes, I am 100% going to take this W, and I'm going to rub it in the faces of the people that tried to tell me that I was an idiot back when I stood my ground and said this shit from the very beginning. But again, like I said, because I was saying this from the very beginning, it wasn't like I was just thinking this. Like, there was evidence then also. This is even more evidence. So, for example, this one from much earlier this year. Do Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube censor conservatives? Claims not supported by the facts, new research says. Trump led the pack among U.S. elected officials. Fox News, Breitbart outdistanced mainstream media. Elijah Schaefer, who, in fairness, I've been friendly with Elijah Schaefer in the past. I don't, dislike him. I feel that there are probably many, a lot worse conservatives out there. However, just to be completely fair, I can't really trust anything he's going to post publicly in response to me because he is on the Blaze, so he's essentially paid to lie and paid to reaffirm this dumb fuckery, essentially. He's not dumb. He's not a dumb fuck necessarily, but he definitely is paid to stand by some pretty dipshit opinions. If people don't like to interact with establishment/corporate media content, their solution isn't to make better content. It's to try to silence ours. So again, just scratch your head. Huh? I really hate this argument. Well, we're just more popular despite the censorship. Really? So basically you have no facts on your side and you're just imagining that maybe this thing is happening. To me, that sounds like a cope. That sounds like you're like, well, I might have 400,000 followers, but if there wasn't the spooky big tech censorship, then I would probably have 4 million subs. It sounds like you need to take that cope and go outside and touch some grass. The conservative arguments where they oftentimes are coping and saying, well, we're actually just doing better in despite of the censorship. How do you think that do you think they would ever accept that from a left-winger talking about systemic racism? Do you think if they had some data, do you think if conservatives actually had overwhelming evidence to prove systemic racism wasn't a thing? God, I wish systemic racism wasn't a thing. I wish that I could be wrong on that one, you know? But let's just imagine that. And then they present that to us and say, look, black people succeed, blah, 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 whatever they say. And then we're like, well, they're just succeeding in despite of the racism. They would laugh their ass off, and then they would laugh all of us out of town. And kind of rightfully so, because that's a dumb fuck argument. And then you just scroll through this, and the cope. This is absolute BS. Can I bring this up? Okay, so I see this one too. Again, I'm not denying that some of the people TOS targets right-wing views. Well, then that's on the right-wing's fault, honestly. And no, it doesn't even. It targets hate, discrimination, unless you're saying that being hateful towards trans people is right-wing views. And don't even try to come up here and be like, well, you can't talk about trans issues. Yes, you can. Steven Crowder, Daily Wire, Fox News, Blair White. These people fucking nonstop talk shit about trans people, spread doubt. That we have the whole detransitioner narrative thing spreading all over the place. Give me a fucking break. You can have conversations. You can spread your own opinions. You can spread your transphobic beliefs. Just don't be super over the top hateful and you should be good. Just don't spread blatant misinformation and you'll be good. You're basically admitting that hate, harassment, and discrimination is a right-wing view. Oh, Michael, you're in the waiting room? Okay, good.
Hello, Hunter. I thought I was gonna get away.
Hello, man. I'm sorry. You're just... this seems to be the one thing that we cannot find common ground on.
Well, good. Thankfully for you, I'm not really here to really argue big tech censorship.
Because you know I'm right? Okay.
No, it's
wow,
because
I can't believe you got a concession
we've
right off the
argued
bat.
this. We've argued this 5 times, but I'm mainly concerned about you with your studies because I've noticed frequently in your debates you seem to promote studies that are rather flawed, and you didn't really look at them.
What do you mean? What study was flawed?
So my first example was a few days ago. You promoted a New York Times study in which it claims 80% of people in power are white. I went through the study and I find it to be rather flawed. The
I
article
don't think
never.
that's a fair example to be honest. I mean, I was literally in the middle of a debate. That wasn't like something I'd even scrolled through. I just had to find some. I know that they're disproportionately white. If that one study was flawed, I mean, we can probably find another one to show something else then. But I mean, I
Yeah,
was in the middle of the debate. That's not.
well, you were still promoting it. Either way, I mean, I get why you needed to send them
I
a link
mean,
to get them to shut up. I get it. That's how internet debates work.
no,
You
that's
get a
not what it
headline,
was. It
you
was
link.
that I didn't. I needed to pull something up at the moment. Yeah, I didn't have time to scroll through everything. But what was flawed about it?
They never considered what they consider white, and they never said what they considered people of color.
Are you
Uh,
saying they didn't account for Jews?
no, 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 no. But you said, like in the past, you said you've called Nick Fuentes a white nationalist, yet this article lumps Hispanics, which Hispanics can be of any race, into including people of Spain and Portugal descent, aka Europeans, as non-white in the study. So you could take that and you could say, oh, maybe it's more white, maybe it's like 90%. But it also doesn't consider like people who might be like Middle Eastern. Do they consider Middle Eastern like a person of color? Do
Okay,
they
so this
consider
is
like
actually my problem already. Is I thought you were gonna bring like legitimate problems with the study, but instead you're just saying like, well, why didn't they bring this thing up? And again, this is the problem when people that don't understand how studies work try to scroll through them and read through all the methodology and find the flaws and everything else. It's because you can find something, be like, well, why didn't they count this? Why didn't they think of that person? That doesn't make the study flawed.
well, no,
Like,
I think it shows a little bit of flaw.
is the
I'm just a
finding
bit
incorrect that
skeptical.
there's a is the overall, well, first of all, was the study incorrect in claiming that 80% of the power holders were white?
I'm just skeptical if the 80% figure is accurate. I'm sure it probably is mostly white. I'm just skeptical of the figure, and since at the bottom they did admit that, like there is a note at the bottom,
Hmm.
pointing out they consider Spanish and Portuguese people as non-white in the study. I'm just confused because like what about
But
the other
so
other
wouldn't that
point I
actually
brought
just
up?
further prove like that?
Well, it could, but it could also prove the opposite with what I brought up with, because I know some people consider Turkey a part of Europe. Are they considering Turkey European? Like, what's going on?
I
I'm just, this is just to first prove my point that I think you have a, I don't think you're doing this intentionally, but you just seem to do this internet debate thing where
no,
you grab a study and you're like, I'm right.com,
no, no, no.
and you're just
Listen,
banking
it's
on
true
somebody
that
not
it's
critiquing the study.
well, I will say that there are absolutely times where yeah, I don't have like research done on that in in the moment, so I do have to like look up a direct figure if I need to, like if I want to cite something. Sure. However, I don't just do like people like to make fun of me and act like Hunter just Googles the whole time, blah blah blah. No, I don't. I do a fuck ton of research. I have a lot of research documents that I've done. I have information that I've curated and laid out in my notes because I put time and effort into this. So I don't agree with that either. I know that there are, again, I'm conceding that sometimes, yes, you do have to Google on the fly and find an article with for a direct stat or whatnot, but I don't do that often. And also, that wasn't even flawed with the study. The study I used doesn't even sound flawed. It just if it doesn't account for like every single trivial little detail, doesn't mean that like the study is wrong.
I'm not saying it's completely wrong. I'm just saying it's a bit flawed.
No, but like
You know, like a
conservatives,
study
no,
can
no, no,
be a
no,
bit can be
no,
a bit off
conservatives,
and not be
no,
completely wrong.
conservatives try to make these same types of arguments. I've heard them say these same types of arguments with Destiny before in regards to systemic racism as well. They do the exact same thing. Well, this study didn't account for what the person was wearing that day, so do we really know that study sounds full? It's a cope.
I wouldn't say that. I think that's a reasonable critique of a study. I'm not completely disregarding it, but I'm trying to build the case that I think you have a bad habit of like not reading the study or like not taking a deeper and more critical look into it.
I mean, I go through the study, like I said, I
Did you go
acknowledge
through
that
the Twitter one?
I don't have a qualifications to read through.
But
No, I didn't. I don't have the
it's not really
qualifications to
mathematical.
read
It's not really
through.
mathematical. If you go through it, at the bottom there's some math stuff I didn't get, But if you read the top, like the discussion portions, like the first maybe like 10, 15 pages, it's really easy to understand.
I read two
And
different
that's why
articles though. I also read this one right here, Twitter's own research, which
the Guardian article
no,
was
not the
completely
article.
but
No,
that's the one in the tweet. That's the one in the viral tweet
well
that
then
was completely
you're gonna have to take that up with
misrepresented.
the Guardian because I
Well, no, you promoted it.
no,
But
I
my
completely
critique of
disagree
you,
with your contention that I'm spreading false information because I shared a headline that was like something you consider biased.
well, it's very sensational.
Hold on one second.
So, all right, tell me when you're ready.
Sorry, I'm back.
All right, no problem.
So, go ahead.
So with the part in the article you headline, it says Twitter admitted it amplifies right-wing content more than left-wing. That's a very disingenuous wording of this if you go through what they released. Twitter admitted their machine learning algorithm, basically a computer, has slightly in the US. This isn't the case in Germany. They also didn't go over like left-wing countries in Germany.
Let's not
Like
start doing this again. How just because they didn't account for every detail
well, yeah,
doesn't mean
that's
the
what I'm
study's
just pointing
completely
out. This is
flawed.
just in the U.S. There's some countries where they admit this isn't the case in other countries, that it
I
promotes
know,
right-wing
but
content more.
yeah, of
Okay,
course, in the US, the Twitter algorithm benefits right-wing content more. And when
slightly,
they say
slightly,
that
by the way,
Twitter
very
admits
slight.
when they it was not slight in some places. In some places it literally varied like up to 167%.
Well,
Didn't you
at
see
the graph I was looking at, it's only slightly because let me
right
pull
here,
it up.
according to a 27-page research document, Twitter found a statistically significant difference favoring the political right wing in all countries except Germany. Under the
What can I?
research, a value of 0% meant tweets reached the same number of users on the algorithm. See, that right there, I don't understand. I wouldn't understand that if I wasn't reading that interpreted for me a little bit. So,
Hold on. Where can I send you a screenshot?
liberals, 43%. Oh, so the most powerful discrepancy between right and left was in Canada. Liberals, 43%. Conservatives,
Yeah, I'm talking
167%.
America. I'm talking America, Hunter. I'm talking America.
It just doesn't sound like there's a lot of
Yeah,
right-wing
but yeah,
censorship.
but
It's not looking too good for this.
In Germany, it's more left wing, and I think that's probably because Germany has like weird hate speech laws. If you've ever had a tweet reported, you instantly get an email about something regarding Germany's law or some shit. I don't know exactly how this shit works,
Yeah,
but
so I mean that's might be a contention or a problem with fucking Germany, but
okay, but
this wasn't really that much of a like it, the most I would maybe be willing to you know what? No, I'm not conceding this at all. Twitter literally did. The company has acknowledged and admitted themselves by releasing it that there's bias in the algorithm in
the
favor of right wing.
algorithm, but the wording on that article makes it sound like they're purposely promoting right wing content. That's
No, it
my
doesn't. It says Twitter
no.
admits bias in algorithm for
No, I'm
right-wing
talking about the
politicians.
Guardian one. The Guardian one
That's the
doesn't say
Guardian
that.
one.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't say that. Let me look
Dude,
it
I'm
up.
reading it right now. Twitter admits bias in algorithm for right-wing politicians and news
No, right
outlets.
here. I have the screenshot right in front of me. Let's see if you're talking about the second screenshot.
No,
Oh yeah, that's later on. That's later
the
on.
very first one. What?
No, it says amplifies tweets from right-wing politicians in news outlets than content from left-wing ones. It's the second screenshot you posted in the tweet.
Twitter has admitted it amplifies more tweets from right-wing politicians and news outlets than content from left-wing sources.
Yeah, that's what you highlighted. My contention is that's a disingenuous way of wording it. It's making it sound like they're intentionally doing it. My problem is it's the algorithm doing it, and I think there's good explanations. For example,
Twitter literally in their own research document, they found this and then released it. That is them admitting.
yeah, their
That
algorithm.
is them admitting it.
It's their algorithm.
The
though.
headline said
I think-
algorithm, dude.
I
Are you
feel-
mad because it admitted it amplifies more tweets? What is Twitter? Like, it's the social media platform. Conservatives do better. They control
Slightly.
the algorithm. That is Twitter admitting that it amplifies. I mean, I can listen. I will.
But I think there's
hold
an
on. Wait. I'll throw you like a rope here, whatever. Like I understand where you're coming from, and I will also agree that like it could be clearer. Maybe they could have said Twitter has acknowledged in a research document that their algorithm amplifies tweets from right-wing politicians more than left-wing sources. Would that have been better?
Yeah, probably.
So that's basically what this says, except just a little bit, I guess, with the clarifying saying algorithms specifically.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's computers. It's not
this
like
isn't the entire.
intentional.
Wait,
And when
it
and when
doesn't have
Twitter
to be intentional. Twitter is not just people at Twitter. Twitter is the algorithm in the social media website.
Mhm.
Right? And
Yeah.
also, this isn't the entire article. This is the first thing.
Yeah, but I'm talking
After you
about your
see the
tweet.
headline, the first thing I posted said exactly what you wanted it to say. Twitter admits bias in algorithm for right-wing politicians and news outlets. Twitter's
in the
admitted
two
it
parts of
amplifies
the
more
in the
tweets.
two
And then I clarify and I show the research doc.
Yeah, but in the two parts of the article you highlighted, it doesn't make that clear. I mean, the headline kind of says it, but then when you go to the other screenshots, it makes it sound like it's like
It
not
sounds
the
like just
algorithm.
because it wasn't as clear, again, just if it wasn't as clear as it could have
That's
been,
what
does
I
not
want. I
mean
just
it's
want it to be
dishonest.
clear.
No, that's
think
not.
the
M-
The
Michael.
wording, I think, is
Michael,
pretty.
don't stop it. You
it's-
said that
hold
you
on.
didn't want me to be spreading misinformation and whatnot. This is completely backtracked from Hunter spreading misinformation to, well, the first sentence in the article could have been clearer.
Which is a disingenuous and misleading thing, I would say.
I don't agree with that. I don't actually
Well-
think it's that misleading at all. When I first
can
saw
I-
the headline, can I be honest? When I first saw the headline, I thought they were saying that Twitter, I thought I was about to take a fucking L when I saw this. I thought that they were saying they had a bias against right-wing politicians and news outlets. I was like, oh shit, I'm about to be fucking taking the biggest L here.
Be crucified.
So that's the thing, is like, I arguably misinterpreted it too, but like, that's not the whole article. The headline says algorithm, and what this first sentence says, it's not even wrong. Twitter has literally, by definition, quote unquote, admitted that it amplifies more tweets. What is it? Twitter, the website, the algorithm, it amplifies more tweets. Yes, this.
Yeah, but when people like me say, "Oh, Twitter censors people like right wingers or like sex workers or something," when we say that, it's like an intentional thing. Like they're intentionally removing it, but when they leave the algorithm alone, it promotes stuff at roughly the same rate in the U.S.
So that's
If you
also
look at
not
this-
true. Like, conservatives, again, like, this would just go back to the kind of personal responsibility thing. It seems that conservatives just break the rules more often. I know that sucks to hear, but like, you can even look at it like Donald Trump was like a huge contributor to COVID misinformation, and yet he claims censorship or, you know, whatever, when he got that little notice on his tweet saying like, hey, you're factually incorrect.
Yeah, but maybe you could make that argument like if he wasn't banned from like literally every social media platform in existence, despite
This was
not really
before he was
breaking.
banned.
But yeah, I think that's not really a good argument you can make now because he's banned from everything now. Like, wouldn't that prove right-wing censorship's
No.
real if the sitting president was removed
No,
from
no. What it
from
is it's a-
Pinterest? He got banned from Pinterest.
No,
Who
you know what
uses
that is?
Pinterest?
Okay, I can agree that the Pinterest thing was kind of dumb, sure. But you know what this is it should be embarrassing. It's embarrassing that we had a fucking president that can't even follow the goddamn TOS. It's embarrassing that we had a sitting president that was unable to responsibly use social media and was literally using it to stoke the domestic terrorism with the Capitol riots with January 6th. That is a clear-cut violation of TOS. And also, I'm going to push back even harder. Hold on, wait. Wait. I'm going to push back even harder because
Let me pull up the
actually,
archives.
hold on. If you actually want to talk about it, you can see that a lot of the times, social media sites like Twitter and like Facebook actually extend protections to politicians. So you can go back
just
and
the
hold on.
politicians.
So you can go back and see that Donald Trump, back in like August or something, way before, you know, the January 6th thing, he made a post about how when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That would
remember that.
obviously have violated TOS, and it was still up. It was left up, even though it violated TOS, because he was a public official or a politician or whatever. So it's actually the opposite. They extended him more grace, and he kept on pushing the line.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that happened with Alex Jones. This is like, This is what happens. This isn't right-wing bias. This is conservatives not knowing how to behave themselves.
I mean, I guess, but I still don't get what you're trying to say. I don't think maybe the looting starts, shooting starts. I don't agree with that. That's kind of wrong.
That
But
would pretty clearly, let's think about it, right? Let's think about
Mhm.
that realistically. The
I'm
president of
thinking
the United
critically.
States makes a post like that when the looting starts, the shooting starts. If we want to talk about how we're going to interpret things, I think it's pretty clear that you could interpret that as a call to violence. But
Yeah, but do you think?
that was left up. Facebook didn't intervene on that, even though that violated TOS because he was Trump. He actually had more protections. There wasn't bias against him. There was bias in favor of him, and he
Yeah, but he
kept on
had that
pushing the line.
protection when he was threatening to remove Section 230, though.
No, he did.
Yeah, he
Honestly, the
threatened to
Section
remove.
230 thing was idiotic. Honestly, Trump would never have gotten anywhere with Section 230. Even his own website relies on Section 230.
True, true.
And no,
But
he
they
also
don't even remove.
one more
Go on.
thing. They extend these protections to politicians, usually across
Which
the.
I think is, which I don't think those rules should even be there. I think it should just be like
Well,
a
either
free
way,
speech
this is
thing.
across the board on
Yeah, I
like a
think the
multitude.
politicians should be
So it
able to
has.
say whatever they want on Twitter because they can say whatever they want on television. Like,
So
doesn't
if it's
that make sense?
wait, so politicians all around have special protections. That's not anything to do with Trump threatening Section 230. These
Well,
protections
didn't
existed
they delete
beforehand.
that?
It is not because Trump was threatening Section 230 that these protections exist. These
Well,
protections
no,
already
I
existed, and they extend to other politicians as well. You might not agree with it, but either way, it obliterates the claim that Donald Trump's the poor boo-hoo victim.
well, I mean, you could argue he kind of is. I mean, he got banned from fucking
That's not a
Pinterest.
victim. Do you think if someone's shooting up a store and then they get shot, they're a victim?
No, but that's
Okay,
not a good.
so
That's
if
not a
you're,
fair comparison. That's
it
not a fair
is. If you break
comparison.
the rules to an extent and then you get the consequences, it's not. That doesn't always make you a victim.
But the rules are like targeting right wing views. I mean, we've been over this on time.
No,
But
they're
I,
not.
I only came on here to really argue with you about the article, the study, though.
I
If we
think
want,
that
we can keep going on this.
no,
but-
it's the big tech censorship thing. It makes no sense. There's no arguments here.
No, I agree that maybe like PragerU, yeah, they over exaggerate, but there is a disproportionate, I think, of conservatives being banned, and you agreed with me on this.
How do you
They
feel about
target.
systemic racism?
Yeah, I would say it's real.
Okay, cool. So why
Yeah.
is systemic racism real?
Affirmative action discriminates against Asians and white people. There's other like
Do you think-
systemic racism things too. Like I know redlining. I know all of that stuff too.
Do you accept like systemic racism against like black people?
Yeah, I'm sure it exists.
Okay.
I'm not most educated on it, but
Right, but no,
I
you're
mean
right.
Jim
It
Crow
does
and
exist.
stuff like that.
Yeah, like it does exist. So
Like, isn't there a study where like they use non-white names for job applications with the same thing?
Yep.
And
yeah,
yeah, I
there's-
mean, yeah, that stuff exists. Yeah.
so right there, you pointed me to evidence that you have to kind of fall back on. Wait, they had that study that kind of, yeah, I'm not that educated on it, but you have a general idea. But with the big tech censorship, that's not there.
Yeah, it is.
You can't give me any
Alex
kind of
Jones
evidence
got
of a
banned from like every platform.
That's
in, like,
not. Wait.
24
You
hours.
realize the difference is black sounding names across the board with multiple different employers. Which, by the way, that study has been like, not like replicated in scientific terms, but it's been redone multiple times, updated, and still has found similar results. Across the board, way different than Alex Jones. This would be the equivalent of me saying, "Well, I had a black friend and he got turned down. It's probably because of his black sounding name."
I mean, it could have been because of his name.
Yeah, but it also could have not. There's no actual evidence that it was because of that. Just like with the Alex Jones thing, he's just one guy who broke the rules. That's why. It's
There's
not
other
like
people,
across the
too.
board conservative bias.
I mean, I don't remember too much of why Sam Hyde got banned, but Sam Hyde's just a comedian. So why would they ban him?
I don't know. I am not familiar with every case. You can probably think of a lot of people that have gotten banned. You can probably also find some left-leaning people that got banned.
Oh yeah,
You can
of course.
also
I'm
find
not
some.
denying that. Like
you
I
can
said,
also find
sex
some
workers.
politically.
That's another group that normally gets targeted. Is sex workers.
And that's because they also violate TOS a lot. Like
Ah.
I would have
maybe
to
on,
look
like,
through.
certain
I'm not as read
websites,
up
but
on the
I'm like-
sex worker stuff, but like I know that you're not allowed to post pornographic images usually on
Well,
platforms. I know
normally they
Twitter.
don't post. I think like I'm trying to fucking think how I want to word this. They normally get banned. From my understanding, they normally have to be very careful on social media platforms to not like break TOS, but they still end up getting banned either way.
Let's see. I'm looking into this Sam Hyde thing. I've never even heard of this guy.
Really?
Yeah.
He's an internet legend, man. Well, how did you not know him? You were like right wing for like 4 years. I'm surprised. Yeah, I know he had a show on Adult Swim that got canceled.
They're like this weird race of techno authoritarian bug people. Horrific. It's gonna be horrific, man. They fucking literally, they have people in concentration camps. They have fucking Muslims, the Uyghur Muslims. They put them in actual concentration camps. Which
Shit,
is another
never mind.
super funny thing.
My reaction to this was bad. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize he was talking about China there. I thought he was saying like in America. Sorry. Yeah, actually, he's right about. I believe he's right about the.
All the liberals are always like,
watch some of his skits.
if the Holocaust were happening, I'd be the one to save the Jews.
Can I finish making my point about the study?
No, 1 second. One more
No,
second.
you fucking wouldn't. You'd be doing exactly what you're doing now, which is picking your nose and being a fat.
Oh, all right. Oh shit. Now I'm gonna get banned. Great.
Oh, you're not.
Oh fuck. Okay.
What did he say? I couldn't hear.
He said the F slur. So, I mean, on Twitch, that's pretty fucking. Ugh. All right. So again, he's just a comedian. Ooh woo. Oh, what about Sam Hyde? This was his. Hold on. No. This is why I get so fucking annoyed with this argument. Okay, because this was the last post he made on his Instagram before his account got nuked, saying the F slur in like a conspiratorial written rant. It sounded like somewhat like. Either way, the F slur's bad enough. It's the Uyghur Muslims who are in the concentration camps at the moment. That's true. Yes, that part was correct. But then he literally dropped the F slur. So it's.
Yeah, but a lot of famous people use the F slur. I mean, do we have to go back to the Tyler the Creator example?
Did we say that public creators can't use the F slur? Or did we say they can't use the F slur on certain platforms?
I don't think but I don't think that rule should be there, though.
Okay, well then that's your problem. But again, he violated TOS. This was not conservative censorship.
Well, he's been banned from he's banned from like every platform too.
Was this the only thing he said? We'd have to look into it. Like I said, I didn't even hear this guy.
A lot of things.
You should delete the VOD. Yeah, I might actually unironically get in trouble for that because that's fucking.
Well, I didn't know about that video. I haven't actually seen that one.
Well, that was his last IG story before his account got nuked. At least that's what Reddit said. But either way, man, I appreciate the convo. It's just this is why
Wait,
this
hold on,
fucking
can I speak
conversation.
One more point? Can I speak one more point?
Okay, yes. I'll let you make one more point. Go ahead.
So I think I have a reason why Twitter's algorithms might be promoting conservative content or right-wing content slightly more than in the US. So this has been an open secret for years, but big tech algorithms promote outrage content because outrage content gets the most engagements.
Yep.
In which Twitter even kind of admits this. Let me pull up the thing. Machine learning models used for ranking content on the home timeline is influenced by the output of deep learning models trained to predict various types of engagement with tweets, likes, retweets, replies, etc. So the way conservatives, like you can look at like Candace Owens, for example, the way they word their tweets is to rile up conservatives, and that also pisses off the leftists a lot. Yeah. So it would make sense that those tweets would get a lot of engagement.
Yeah, I've said that
a
lot. Anger drives engagement, absolutely.
Is there anything else I put here?
But doesn't that kind of prove my point?
Well, no, because I still think when it comes to banning, I think conservatives still get disproportionately banned.
But okay, yeah, all right, then that's I guess.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna.
They break the rules more often, but you know. The thing is, I have yet to see like a single example of someone who's just like, I was just an innocent Trump supporter. The song? You want to talk about the song?
Which song? He said a few of them get banned.
The one that just got banned, the "Let's Go Brandon" one, because I was actually about to talk about that one next and laugh at that one too.
I don't know anything about it. I listened to it. It didn't sound that bad, but we can go over it. I think
the one
it got
that
banned from YouTube.
The one that got pulled from YouTube, yeah.
Okay, let's go over it.
Okay. So yeah, this guy made this song, and then it got pulled from YouTube for medical misinformation, and now people are, of course, using this to say conservatives are being censored. Ooh, woo, all over again. And then I just looked up the lyrics just to see. I was like, oh shit, maybe I'm gonna take another L. And again, no. This is literally just like anti-vax bullshit laced in a rap song. It's like Tom McDonald like with AIDS. It's literally that bad. Like,
let me ask you this now. Let me ask you this. Do you think Apple Music should be able to censor arts?
did Apple Music pull this?
Not Apple Music, YouTube. But Apple Music pulled another
Yes.
one of his songs. I made the argument in my video.
Yes, they have a right to. They're all private platforms. They take a cut of the
Okay.
money. They're making money off of him. He's making money off of them. It's a mutual thing almost.
Going
But
back to this argument.
It's ultimately their platform. Yes. You can say, but it's art. Well, okay, should they allow pornography on their site? It's art. People make that same exact excuse. There are absolutely limits to what you can convey in art also. But anyway, let's read some of these lyrics. Biden said the jab stops the spread. It was lies. Okay, I don't need to debunk that because that's obvious bullshit. Wait, did you... Michael...
I'm joking.
Okay, good, because I was about to just hang up on you. How you woke, but you haven't opened your eyes. Oh, based. These politicians are demons just in disguise. Yeah.
That is based. Yeah, I agree.
Look at Kyrie Irving and Nicki Minaj. Now, I agree Nicki Minaj
Ooh.
kind of sucks, but what's up with Kyrie Irving?
Well, you don't like Nicki Minaj?
I mean, I like her. One of her albums was okay, but a lot of...
Have you heard Monster?
No.
Oh, so you don't have a take on who had the best Monster verse?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, man. I don't
Well,
listen
what
to
about
that
his
type of-
song Safe Space? Because I remember you kind of conceded in my video when I brought up his song Safe Space. I got banned from Apple Music by him and Patriot J. That
I would
song
have
didn't
to...
have...
Okay, hold
Just
on.
look it
I'm
up.
still going over this one thing.
Okay, let's finish going over. I'll pull it up when we get to you.
Let's go, Brandon. We know he capping. Patriots out in the street taking action, hunting us down for speaking the truth. Beat down the pedo. Let's save the youth. Wow.
Yeah, but Hunter, you're a rap
I'm
fan,
wondering
right?
if that's yes, I'm a rap fan, but again,
Rap music's all about killing people. I'm a huge rap fan.
yes,
I love
but
old
it's
school
different
Tyler,
when
the
if that was
Creator.
all it was, it would probably have been fine, honestly. That probably wouldn't have gotten banned. But why did it get banned? For medical misinformation. And you can literally look all right here. Stop complying with them taking our rights. Publicans voting for red flag laws. If you ask questions about the vax, then they gonna ban us. I mean, with their version of asking questions is like vague posting about how it's like an egg that's gonna hatch in you and kill you or something. Everyone
Yeah, but Hunter, why did they ban these rap songs instead of rap songs that talk about killing people?
Was this rap song banned for violence? Because if that
Well,
were
it
the
was
case, then
banned.
hold on. If this song was banned for violence, that would be inconsistent. Yeah, but this was banned for medical misinformation.
Yeah, but it's just a song, Hunter.
It doesn't matter if it's just a song. In this song, he's spreading medical misinformation, and YouTube
Okay, hold on, let's make
has a
this
right to
clear.
remove it. They don't even, the thing is like YouTube, technically speaking, doesn't even have to give you a reason. They don't even have to have a reason. They actually could just ban conservatives if they wanted to, and that would be completely legal, 100%. But they don't, and that's not how this is happening. This is
Okay, so I think
clear-cut
we have
medical
a problem
misinformation.
here.
All right, what is it?
So you're coming
Conservatives are
at this
spreading
from
misinfo again.
you're coming at this from like a legal sense, but I'm coming at this from like a moral and like cultural sense.
No, you're kind of not actually, because
Yeah, I
like,
think it's immoral to ban people for making music.
well, you just a minute ago said you also think it's wrong to ban people for saying the F slur.
Yeah.
Like you're against banning people for really any reason at all. You're against.
I mean, as long as they're
restricting
not
people's-
breaking the, as long as they're not like breaking, I guess, the law. Like as long as they're not posting like. I
But
don't
let's
wanna
just talk
say
about
anything that's gonna get
speech.
banned.
Let's just talk about speech. Like, do we have to go back to the basics about the private business and how they have the right to do it and everything?
Well, I
Like-
mean, in this country, there's laws against not serving people based on their skin or sexuality, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it make sense to also make sure you can't discriminate against
No.
Someone's opinion?
No.
I
No,
I don't
because there's a
'cause I
big
don't think you
difference.
could change I don't think you
Hold
could
on. Do
change
you
your
think there's a
opinion.
bit of a difference between an immutable characteristic or someone's opinion? Like, you realize that some people have the opinion that black people should be back to slavery. Like, that wouldn't be a respectful a thing that you would have to
Well,
respect.
it's not respectable at all, but you gotta remember some people have stupid opinions because they're just stupid.
Well, yeah. But
So if you
sometimes those
can't
stupid
change
opinions
stupid
are actually
people,
harmful and need to be restricted. So, like, in the case
I
of even in the
that's a little scary. You just said that's a little like a little bit too authoritarian
no, it
for my
isn't. Not
liking.
at all. This is literally how we do this. So, for example, like with as far as private businesses go, uh, again, they restrict speech that ultimately is going to benefit their bottom line, right? So, like, I've had this conversation a million times. Like, it's the
Yeah,
same
we've had this
exact
like
thing.
5 times.
I know, like, you couldn't scream the N word in a car dealership.
True. I guess technically that's true.
So would that be a violation of your free speech? Is that unfair? Or no, that's the company enforcing a rule based on
Yeah, but I think there's a difference when it's YouTube because YouTube is like music. That's like creating art. That's expressing yourself. You know.
I mean,
It's since
sometimes it's
YouTube's like the
expressing
premier.
yourself and sometimes you're using it to spread misinformation, to validate anti-vax bullshit and hysteria.
Do you know who Little Darky is?
No.
He's a rapper I like, and he's faced some like censorship on like streaming platforms because he tends to use very vulgar and offensive language just for like shock value, kind of like old school Tyler the Creator. Do you
Mhm.
think like songs like that should be banned?
Um
Do you think
uh,
Tyler saying like
n-
making songs about like I don't want
no.
to say anything that's gonna get
I'm
you
not
banned,
I don't
but
think that the thing is I don't think I need to think that through. I recognize that there's like definitely like a little bit more leeway when it comes to art. And I also listen to like really violent music and shit. Again, I'm not complaining about violence. I'm not even complaining about them saying like the F slur in rap or whatever, which if people don't like that, they don't really have to listen necessarily. But when it comes to this, again, no platform owes you their platform. And no platform, especially YouTube, they don't have to keep up something that's spreading misinformation.
well, in a legal sense, I guess that's true.
You're
But
not gonna get COVID.
in a moral sense, do you think they should?
Yes.
I guess that's where gonna have to disagree.
You agree with this too, though.
What do you mean?
Like, let's try to imagine that you're in a situation now. Okay, you're a business owner and you have a nice little yogurt shop where you sell everybody yogurt. And then one day, all of a sudden, someone comes over in your yogurt shop and starts screaming the N word. Do you think that that's going to affect your business?
Yeah, but I would say again that's different from art, you know? Because
So let's say
YouTube
someone
exists
comes over and they have a guitar and they're singing the N word.
singing the N-word. That probably wouldn't be good for business, but
So do you think that it's morally okay for you to ask them to leave?
morally. Okay, that's a good thought experiment actually.
Because I think I
Um
know the answer pretty easily.
well, from a financial perspective, that it would make sense for me to do that. And also, since my place of business isn't a place for people to express themselves, it would also make sense for me to remove that because I don't like that. That's not good for business. Um, But this would be a different argument though if this was like a concert stadium. I had a concert stadium and someone was saying offensive things in their music because at that point it doesn't make sense for me to remove them because it's a place to make music, you know?
Sure, but
So
again,
maybe
we're not just
from a
but hold on, we're
moral
not
sense, hold on,
just
from a moral sense, maybe it would be wrong, but I would still probably do it. But in a concert perspective, maybe I would view it as morally wrong, but I still wouldn't do it because that's the business.
okay, so again, we're not just talking about music though. You said earlier that you're okay with all speech basically being kept up there. You don't want there to be any kind of like banning people for saying F slurs and whatnot. And
Pretty
I'm
much like
But
I
you
mean like
just proved my point just with the first thing. It's the music, the art thing is kind of irrelevant. Ultimately, they ban certain language because it's bad for business. And then when they ban medical misinformation, this just contributes to real world harm. There's
yeah, but
already so much misinformation going around because conservatives are nonstop, I don't know, spreading misinformation. um, and then this is just something that validates it. And again, just if it's quote unquote art doesn't mean that it's not simultaneously a violation of TOS. And in this case, it absolutely would be a violation of TOS.
I still
He literally said, okay, come on. He said pandemic ain't real. They just planned it. He's literally spreading this is like Alex Jones wrote a fucking rap song, dude.
I could totally easily, like, I could make a song like that. Like, I still wouldn't agree with that.
So by your logic, people should be able to say anything they want as long as they're singing it?
Well, no, but we're talking, we're having an art debate. We're having an art debate, right?
We're not. We're not having an art debate. We're having a literal fucking TOS debate and a moral debate. It's just, I don't know. Man. No,
okay,
this every time conservatives are banned, it's pretty clear cut why they were banned, and it never is because they're just poor conservatives. It does make it right. It absolutely makes it right. Spreading bullshit misinformation about the COVID-19 pandemic.
Wait, hold on. Who gets to pick if it's misinformation or not?
Why do we need? Whenever a cop pulls out their gun, they get to decide that they can take another human life.
That doesn't make it right, though.
You're right. It doesn't make it right. But you didn't ask me if it made it right. You said, who gets to decide? And I'm telling you, we give jobs like this. We let people, quote unquote, decide far more complicated things than what is and isn't misinformation. What do you mean, who decides? They follow the CDC guidelines, and if something violates that, then that violates their TOS as well. It's pretty obvious. YouTube isn't sitting there deciding if it's false info. They just go by CDC guidelines. So the CDC would be, in this case, what determines if it's false information.
Yeah, but you don't... Yeah, but that's kind of a little scary, don't you think? Because doesn't that mean you really can't criticize the CDC or bring up, like, I guess, alternative quote-unquote data? I don't like using that type of data because...
You can criticize CDC all day long. You just can't violate, like, COVID misinformation. You can read their, let's go ahead and read YouTube TOS medical misinformation. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay. My thing was loading.
While you pull this up, can I make a quick point?
Yeah, I already pulled it up, but go ahead.
Briefly going back to the data thing, because that's what I really wanted to talk about here. On the trending/explore page on Twitter, left-leaning outlets are often promoted more. Like, exclusively compared to, like, right-wing outlets. You never see, like, Fox News on there. It's always New York Times. The explore page on Twitter. You could go there right now. It's always New York Times, Bloomberg, Voices of Color. You never see, like, Newsmax on there.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they definitely have. I mean, I believe that part is curated. So that
because it is curated. So when they have control, they normally go with safe, neutral/left-leaning sources.
Well, more left-leaning, mainly neutral sources, though, right? Usually it's like APR, or I'm sorry, Associated Press, NPR.
Yeah, but like I said, these were all ones I
Post.
picked out yesterday. New York Times, Bloomberg, HuffPost, Voices of Color.
Was that on the For You page?
Yeah, that was. It was on there yesterday.
That's different for everyone, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Like, it doesn't mean that there's never going to be any left.
It's on there right now.
Okay. This doesn't prove that conservatives are censored or anything.
Well, no, it proves that they promote left-leaning content.
So if I wanted to be
they
promote neutral / sometimes left-leaning content on their one curated search page. Big difference than like algorithmic growth, and that is not anything comparable to the actual claim
if I wanted to be
on.
disingenuous, I could say this is complete proof that Twitter promotes left-leaning content. Like I could use this as like my definitive proof. If I wanted to be disingenuous, I could totally frame it.
It's also not left-leaning. We would have to look.
You don't think Voices of Color is a left-wing source?
You said that was in the For You page. That means it's different for everyone, right?
No, it's on the Twitter Explore page. If you go to the Explorer and go to the News tab and scroll, you'll see it.
Okay, yeah, of course. They're probably going to have more like neutral sources at the end of the day. But just if one or two are Voices of Color, what was the headline for the Voices of Color one?
Let me read it. Where'd it go? A new project details newspaper role in lynchings post 1865.
What was the thing called?
Voices of Color. I didn't actually read the
that sounds actually
article.
completely normal for, like, that's relevant to today.
A historian newspaper upheld white supremacist political economy.
Yeah, that sounds like something that, like, Voices of Color would... Yes. So just if there's hold on, wait. Just if there's a curated part where, like, sometimes they feature more left-leaning shit, that's mainstream, and for the most part, they promote
Safe.
neutral shit and safe. Yeah. That does not
Yeah,
mean
but
that
I
there's some
could
bias against
totally.
conservatives.
Well, yeah, because they never put Fox News on there. I mean, I think Destiny made
So
this argument.
they're not
Fox
giving them
News,
extra treats. They're
Yeah.
not giving them. This isn't asking for equality at this point. This is asking for like special treatment, right?
Well, no, I'm just pointing out that you could totally make the argument the way you're making it by like, or I guess that article that I was throwing a hissy fit over earlier.
No, I wouldn't accept that argument at all. I'd say, yeah, that part where it's actually curated is most likely going to feature just like neutral sources. Turns out that Fox News isn't all that neutral. Sometimes
Well,
their
no,
reporting
Destiny
can be.
made the argument, which was correct, that their like articles online are
Yeah.
rather neutral and
No,
correct.
I agree with that too. But have you never seen Fox News? Do you have like
Oh yeah, I
data?
watch Fox News sometimes.
Do you have
Well,
data that like
I watch
shows?
Tucker Carlson sometimes.
No. Hold on. Wait.
Oh wait, hold on. There's one thing. In your Twitter response to me, you said Twitter suppression doesn't exist. I think. Maybe I'm misframing now. Let me go read the tweet. What you said doesn't disprove anything. Also, Twitter's still looking into the exact reason why. More
Yeah.
engagement still proves there's no suppression. I have proof of them suppressing content if you want me to link it to you.
Sure.
Uh,
So I want to make a quick point, and then we can look at this.
yeah, go ahead.
Twitter's algorithm. I'm trying to see if there's anything actually talking about the news feed. Not sure I'm able to find anything on that at the moment, like any actual data collected on it. But that's very irrelevant ultimately because one, the best way that you can grow, the best way is by algorithmic growth. There have been studies showing this. So when we have, again, Twitter's algorithm favoring right-leaning politics.
Slightly
that
in the
is-
U.S., not the truth in all countries.
I didn't say it was all countries. Remember, I tried to cite Canada a minute ago, and you said we're only talking U.S. So
Alright.
Twitter's algorithm favors right-leaning politics, which shows that is the bigger way. That's the better way you're going to grow than their curated news feed that has like mainstream sources that sometimes sound kind of left-leaning. Like, it's just that's really grasping at straws. Like if that was unironically your only point, then I'd probably be like,
Well, that was like one of my more weaker
wait, what is
points.
this thing you sent me?
That is a leaked screenshot from when the Twitter Bitcoin hacking happened. The hackers released that Twitter
I'm showing
panel
this on
that
my
the
stream, okay?
that the administration on Twitter could use. And it proves they have a shadow banning feature, which they have denied having for years. So they do shadow ban content. That
Where's the
screenshot
shadow
that
ban feature?
it says it on there somewhere. It says. Did I accidentally cut it off?
Open
pull
original.
it up.
Oh wait, no, this is account is
Twitter.
inactive. This looks like the back end of setting it up. Oh,
Search list, search blacklist. Yeah.
So
they can't suppress content. They've lied about that to us for years.
wait.
They don't. And you said they don't suppress content in that tweet, but
Well,
that screenshot
yeah,
from last year proves that they do.
Okay, hold on.
Maybe algorithmically they don't, but like
Twitter says
people
it does not shadow ban. Hold on.
If you look up their shadow ban policy, I'm pretty sure they haven't changed it since that released.
Twitter isn't shadow banning Republicans. Yeah,
You see that article says we do not shadow ban, yet it says they have a blacklist thing. I think if you read their blog, they have like their
okay.
own definition.
No,
of
stop.
shadow ban.
Okay, I'm getting AIDS from this. Holy shit. So, one, websites, social media companies have had the ability to quote unquote blacklist or quote unquote shadow ban people since the very beginning.
Oh yeah, of course. But they're lying to us about it. And you said there's nothing about content suppression.
So
which
first
that
of all, no,
screenshot
I
proves that
didn't.
it
Did I?
is.
Wait. Did you unironically interpret what I said as Twitter never suppresses content ever? Or wasn't it pretty obviously inferred that Twitter's
Oh, wait,
not
hold on. Let me reread it. More engagement still proves there's no suppression. But I think that proves
Yes,
that
there
there is
more engagement on the
suppression.
conservative side. Yes, proves there's not like this big suppression of yes, I didn't say Twitter never suppresses anything. Of course, Twitter probably shadow bans, and they probably have a blacklist also within their rights. Websites have been doing it forever. I don't care. It's also a much better way to keep people on the platform without actually just outright banning them. So I never said that like Twitter doesn't have the ability to do this. Of course they do. Yes, this is common knowledge. Even like fucking 4chan has the ability. I'm pretty sure shadow banning's been around literally since like the beginning days of the internet.
Yeah, probably.
Hunter's backpedaling. I am not backpedaling at all. I am clarifying my position rather.
Yeah, we've been talking past each other this whole time. I don't think
We
any
haven't.
of us.
No. Michael, we haven't been talking past each other at all. You've been sending me stuff. You've been doing research, and that's fine. Props to you for doing that.
Thank you, Hunter.
But like, I think that a lot of this is just you're misinterpreting my like overall point. Like, I never said that Twitter never shadow bans. I never said that Twitter never bans people. I never said conservatives.
Well, you
don't
said there's
ban.
no evidence they don't suppress, so I'm saying it's half true.
Let's
that
go.
There is
No,
proof they suppress.
no, you are now you're doing the half truth because you're ignoring the context of our Twitter conversation. Hold on.
I said, surprised this tweet is still up and being promoted by other big leftist creators. I will perhaps be calling in soon.
Uh-huh.
Then there was the quote tweet I sent out to him.
And that's what I was responding to. I was responding to both your tweets.
Do you want me to link it to you, or did you already find it?
I mean, I'm in my quote tweets now.
I got the link. Let me send it to you.
I'll see if I can find it before you send it.
I just sent it.
Okay. I want
I
to do
thought
it
you're back on
myself.
That's how I almost canceled this. I sent out a tweet where I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm making a video. But then I don't want to make a video on this.
I will not be making a video and just go on Hunter's stream to make my case. Oh, okay, cool. Well, wait, what was the... You're completely misrepresenting this. They found that algorithms amplifies right-wing content because a lot of people look at that content. Which, by the way, I could, if I wanted to be super bad faith, which I'm not going to be, but if I wanted to be, I could tell you that's actually not true. They don't know the reason why. They said they don't actually know why yet, but they're looking into it.
Well, in the article, if you read it, they do say that point that could totally be a reasonable explanation on why.
Could be, but you said because, which means that that's actually the reason why. But again,
Right,
it's
I should have worded that better. That's a good critique.
But that's what I mean. Is like I'm able to read this, and I'm not gonna like pick apart it to that extent. Obviously, I understand what you mean. Algorithms learn by seeing what the users interact with and keep showing that content because they want to keep people to stay on their website. Yeah, this is all exactly like that's. I agree with that for the most part. Like, of course. Surprised this tweet is still up and being promoted by other big leftists. And yeah, I was responding to you, your quote tweet there. Back to you. I said, what you said doesn't disprove anything. Also, Twitter's still looking into the exact reason why. More engagement still proves there's no suppression. Yeah, so more engagement proves there's no, like, broad suppression of conservatives. I guess I kind of feel like you're demanding I be, like, hyper specific and clear with everything a little bit. But...
Well, my big problem is I just feel like the tweet was a little... I mean, maybe not like your part, but the part you highlighted were a bit disingenuous of the actual...
I know, but we already argued about this, and I
know.
I don't think we're gonna agree any more than we already have because like I said, I could see your perspective that maybe it was like not as clear as it could be, but again, that was a far cry from Hunter spreading misinfo, which it was not.
Well, I said misleading. I think
it also wasn't even misleading.
I think that part of the article was misleading.
Anything could be misleading.
We already argued it, but
if you read just one sentence of anything, it could be misleading.
Yeah, but you were the one who highlighted that said sentence.
Twitter's admitted it amplifies more tweets from right. Sure, but I didn't really find that particularly misleading, I guess. But again, that's kind of looping back into the conversation again. But
yeah.
Either way, man, was there anything else you want to talk about?
Let me go through my document.
Oh yeah, we didn't follow up on this yet. We're all over the place
over.
Right now, but that's okay. This has been I think this is a fun discussion. We have a lot of people watching. I think they're enjoying this.
Enjoy the free content.
Yeah, I am.
That's why I wanted to make the video so I could get my ad revenue. They finally gave me ads.
Oh,
But then I
hell yeah.
realized, I was gonna have to spend hours of my life making a video about a subject I've already talked about. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just go on a stream."
Whatever, yeah. COVID-19 medical misinformation policy. Um, don't
You're
post
reading
content on
something.
YouTube if it includes any of the following. Content that encourages the use of home remedies, prayer, or rituals in place of medical treatment, such as consulting a doctor or going to the hospital. Okay, good. Content that claims that there's a guaranteed cure for COVID. Okay. So that means if I came out and said the vaccine's the cure all, the fix all, guys, I could get banned too. Content that
Technically.
recommends use of ivermectin. Okay, I'm not seeing any of this yet. Oh, that's treatment. Claims that there's a guaranteed prevention. Diagnostic transmission. Content that claims COVID-19 is not contagious. Okay, here we go. Here's some perfect examples. Denial that COVID-19 exists. Let's see, what was the first thing? Pandemic ain't real. They just planned it.
Well, that doesn't. I don't think that's
Let's be
denying
hyper.
COVID
Hold on, wait.
exists.
You've demanded from me what I feel to be a hyper amount of like specificity here, being specific. Okay, this is clear cut. This is fucking clear cut. Denial that COVID-19 exists. Here are some examples of content that's not allowed on YouTube. The first one on the list, violated by this dude's song. So, like, yes, it violated the medical misinformation thing. This is, honestly, bro, I would recommend just conceding on this one. This is not a hill you want to die on. This was if anything was a clear-cut example of, like, misinformation and a violation at DOS, it's this.
What about the other song, Safe Space?
Was that removed from YouTube?
That's removed from Apple Music. When we went over the stream, you like stopped for like a few minutes to read the article, and you conceded on that one.
I'd have to look at it again.
The worst thing, I
think I may have said it doesn't sound too fair or something, which again, it's every time it's like, I feel like I say this 100 times. I'm never saying that conservatives are never banned. I'm never even saying that conservatives aren't sometimes treated unfairly, but it's not this like disproportionate thing. There's not like this malicious intent to suppress conservatives.
Do you know why Vosh was originally banned from Twitch?
Yeah.
Do you know what he said?
Yeah, about Israel.
Yeah, but like, so why is he back allowed on Twitch, but not somebody else who may or may not be Mexican and said the same thing?
Are you talking about Nick Fuentes?
Yeah.
Did Nick Fuentes say that about Israel? Was that really the only reason he was banned from Twitch, you think?
If I had to why is Vosh allowed to say stuff like that on Twitch, but Nick isn't allowed to make the cookie joke or whatever it was?
He wasn't. He was banned for, I believe, over a year for that. So you're not allowed to say that.
Yeah, but why is he allowed back on, though? That's my question.
Because he faced the consequences for a year. Don't you think there's someone who made an inflammatory statement about Israel is a little different than the known neo-Nazi that makes jokes about the Holocaust?
Wait, hold on. In your TikTok that got 1 million views about Nick Fuentes, you called him a conservative.
No, I was talking generally how conservatives are waking up to the fact that they have more in similar with the Taliban. It's a far right ideology. Yeah, okay, I'm looking through a little bit more of this. It's still, oh shit, we just got 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dude, we're over not your cup of 3A. Well, thank you very much for the gifted subscriber. I appreciate it. 132 views, gifted subs. Dude, you're gonna have to make the comeback of Hunter Avalon video soon.
I will.
All right, we can look into the Safe Space lyrics now because I'm kind of curious about that one too. But wait. No, because hold on. Before we do that, I want a concession on this. That obviously the Bryson Gray one was COVID misinfo, and I think that it was pretty clear.
I will say it technically could be considered misinfo if you want to take him at face value, which I think he wants to be taken at face value. I don't think this is a Tyler the Creator example where it's inflammatory. So technically, yes, it does break the TOS that's in place, but I
Mhm.
don't think that TOS should be in place.
Okay, so all right.
So I'm
Well, we
saying,
already kind of went over that conversation.
yeah,
But it's the song was called Safe Space and it was banned from Apple Music, you said?
yeah, Safe Space, Patriot J,
Patriot J.
he's a Twitter mutual of mine, and Bryson Gray.
Patriot J Safe Space.
Yeah,
Let's
I think I already have the lyrics pulled up. I don't.
Suspiciously unplayable on Spotify.
Oh, it was
Oh,
Spotify. My
wait a
bad.
minute. That is weird. Hold on.
The worst it makes fun of is like gay and fat people, but you know, Tyler the Creator has said like the F slur in his songs for like years at this point.
Okay, wait. Was it like confirmed banned or was it just like a strange grayed out for a minute thing?
It's still grayed out. You still can't play it.
Did he not pay the fee or something? Because I think you have to pay.
Well, no, because his whole it's just that song. The whole album is on Spotify and Apple Music, but that one song.
Ah, so it was an internal decision from Spotify. Okay. So it was a decision for them. Okay, let's see.
But if you compare that to like Tyler the Creator music, like his
Well,
old
yeah,
stuff,
again, like this is what I mean is I never said that I'm not willing to acknowledge that sometimes something's going to be unfair, inconsistent. In this case, on Spotify's part of all things, yes, maybe this is inconsistent. This doesn't
and
prove.
he's also
Hold on,
he's
wait,
also
wait.
banned
But do you
from- okay, go
realize
on.
that this is a big difference than conservatives are being banned and suppressed and censored and we're the victims? This is like Spotify's being kind of inconsistent here. I don't really like that. But they also, remember, they did the thing with Joe Rogan. Spotify was being a little inconsistent then too. I didn't really like that. So maybe, you know what? Maybe you got me on how there's big tech censorship on Spotify. Congrats, dude. I think maybe that's the one right there.
I've done it.
We've done it. That's the real
All right.
problem is Spotify.
Spotify.
Um,
It's like that Sam Hyde sketch
they might ban
where
me
he
for the
always
song.
says something else.
Okay. They might ban me for this song, but this is how I'm rocking. Can't be trans because it ain't real. They need a mental asylum. Say the truth. They look at me like I'm the one with the problem because he thinks it's the truth even though he's spreading lies. But the mess with little kids, that's why pedophilia rising. So there's a little bit difference. There's a difference between like rapping, right? And like making a rap about like, I'll show up with my pistol and fucking blah, blah, blah. Or like using the F slur even broadly versus using your art as like a social commentary on how trans people are mentally deranged pedophiles. Like, I understand again that it's art and there's some leeway with art. And I can also acknowledge that, yeah, I don't think that's like, it's going to be hard for Spotify to ban like stuff like this if they because music gets so fucking filthy.
I mean, like, yeah, like in my video, I used Tron Cat by Tyler the Creator. Do you know that song?
No, but I know
There's
Tyler
a
Creator.
line
I
in
know
this.
He makes a
There's
super
there's
fucking.
there's a line where he says, "I think it's rape a pregnant bitch."
Don't
And
play
my
those.
friend died after 3
Bah,
songs.
bah, bah, bah.
So why
I
why
listen to
something
super
like
edgy. Listen, I listen to super edgy music too. I appreciate it, but again, like I would have to. We'd have to look into it. We'd have to one know why this was banned, the exact reason why. Two, we'd have to know if there was some kind of a broad censorship of conservatives, generally speaking. And thirdly, even if you were able to prove those first two things, that still would not prove that there's some big, broad, big tech conspiracy against conservatives, suppressing conservatives and whatnot. The best you would walk away with, the best you could walk away with would be Spotify was inconsistent with their TOS when it came to this one conservative rapper.
Well, I think that's true, and I do think there is targeting of certain right-wing voices on the internet.
Yeah, this is going to kind of go back to what we said. Like, is he right-wing? Is this a right-wing song? Is it a right-wing song to say being trans isn't real? They're pedophiles and belong in a mental asylum? Like, that's a little extreme, right? That's
Yeah,
not...
I do think I don't agree with that, but the way I look at it, it's just edgy music. I mean, if you wanted to, we could take a look at
listen
like,
to
any
edgy
song.
music, and I understand that edgy... I'm going to look up Spotify TOS. Let's see.
And to the person saying Tyler is gay in the chat, that these songs came out before he came out as gay. I don't think he even
Also,
says
even
fag
if he's
till
gay,
F-star
that
anymore.
means nothing. What he says is still
True.
edgy. What he says could still be offensive. It doesn't like creating a
Yeah, but that's just
Spotify account? Wait, I need like the upload Spotify TOS thing.
What about TK, for example? He made like a whole song when he was on the run from the police about being on the run from the police for killing somebody.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I mean, that's factual.
I don't know what to say. Like that's different than what this guy's saying.
Well, no, I'm saying because you're making the argument that oh he 100% means those things, which I think could be true, but if that's not allowed on Spotify, why is The Race by TK allowed when he talked about how he literally killed somebody in like a home invasion attempt or whatever and ran from the police and bragged about it?
I unfortunately don't think I can answer that one for you right now. I mean, I already said that the best you could walk away with is that maybe Spotify's being inconsistent here with this one conservative rapper, and in that case, you like you
Well,
might
would you
be right. I'm willing to say that like you could be right. I'm still trying to find the TOS of like the upload stuff because I'm actually curious to see.
Cause I don't know their TOS, but that is an interesting thing because they're a music site, so why would they be censoring music? Wait, this is another problem I
Wait,
have with I guess
They're of
TOS.
course they're not just censoring music though. They've censored podcasts before too.
Yeah, true, so
So it's
true.
not just music.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to.
I was gonna make a good point.
Oh wait, hold on. If you establish an account on behalf of a company, organization, entity, or brand, the terms "you" and "your" as you start these terms. Okay. Content licenses you grant us in any part of the Spotify service. Oh, come on. Dispute exemptions? I'm having a hard time finding it, actually.
To be honest, I don't think Spotify really has a TOS because I mean, like, how could you have a TOS for like a mainly music streaming site? I mean, if it's music, it's allowed on the platform, right?
Yeah, I would have to find it. It's
Hold on,
gonna
can I
have to.
make? I
But
have
I feel
another good
like the
argument.
thing is what they're gonna just say is again they have the rights to remove that from their platform, and so that's just the thing is I know you don't agree with it, but like that's the only justification they need to give.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not
It would be
denying.
better though if they gave us more, but either way, it's like
Yeah, but Hunter, do you think we should demand more from these companies? Like me and you, we make money off of these platforms. We're technically, I guess you could say, we're employed by them.
not
So
really. We're
would
more
you?
like contracted.
I guess, but do you think it's not unfair for us to ask more from them? Say, can we have more room to make the content we want to make? Like, do you think maybe we could ask for better monetization settings and things like that, more
Yeah,
consistency?
yeah, absolutely, yes. This is
Okay,
what
we're
I said in
getting
my
somewhere.
original speech was we should ask for more transparency also. That's an extremely important thing. If there was just a little bit more transparency, it wouldn't be so goddamn challenging all the time because they could like that's why, for example, now that YouTube said, hey, your video is banned for medical misinformation. And also, you may have noticed, as a content creator, I certainly have, YouTube's TOS have become much more transparent. It's actually really nice. They provide examples of what you're not supposed to say. It's pretty clear cut nowadays anyway to see like what you're not allowed to do on YouTube.
For the
I
most part,
agree
I
that
would say.
Spotify though certainly seems to be lacking transparency. I just also wanted to point out this line also. If a man dressed like a woman, then it should be a crime. If you impersonate a cop, then they're gonna give you some time.
It's a funny line. I'm not gonna deny that.
It's no, it's not. It's so fucking stupid. It's like
It is
funny.
stupid. That's why
No,
it's
it's
funny.
funny only if you're stupid. I'm sorry. Like there's a difference between impersonating a government official or impersonating like an authority figure and then
But
dressing
that's
like
why
a
I
woman
find
because
it
you
funny
identify
because
as one.
it's not really a good what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a good comparison. But it's like I don't know, maybe I'm laughing at it in the way I'm not supposed to laugh at it, but
No, it's fine. I'm looking at it hypercritically too because I'm trying to understand like let's see, what was the reason for them getting banned? They would ban me if I tweeted everything in this verse, but I would get a Grammy if I wore a dress and a purse. Yep, that's so true,
my
man.
boy, that's Patriot J's verse.
They want every black man to be like Don Lemon. It hurts. And you people want every black person to be like Candace Owens. They only love us when we Mike Brown dead in the dirt. Holy shit. I thought it was the left wing that was way more like obsessed with talking about systemic racism and Black Lives Matter, and it's you people always trying to downplay it. Not you, Michael, the guy in the song.
Yeah, I'm not a conservative.
If you like BLM and you watch CNN, then you brain dead. Okay. Strange how it's literally... So you only love them when they're dead, but you also hate Black Lives Matter, which is a movement literally trying to prevent the deaths of more black people. Okay, whatever. Probably wear a mask in the bed while you lay in there with a Fauci finger in your rear. What?
I love Patriot J, man.
Open the borders. They bring in drugs and they RAPES here. Multiculturalism is about as strong as a daycare. This guy's black. What? Is Patriot J black?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. I was pretty sure he was, but I wanted to double check.
You know who he works for? Or interns for?
Tom McDonald.
No, Paul Gozar.
I don't know who that is.
That's the guy Nick Fuentes does stuff with.
Oh. Well, no wonder he's so fucking stupid.
He's not stupid. He's a smart guy, actually. He just got a job for Breitbart, actually, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he sounds super smart. He should come on. Come on and chat.
You should get him.
Let's see how. I wonder how he would like to have a conversation. I wonder if he would like to sit with me and defend some of these lines. But either way, how can he say I'm really shocked to just see him shitting on multiculturalism here as well, considering the fact that like America has only benefited, well, not only benefited, but America has mainly benefited from multiculturalism. Like we're all a result of like multiculturalism at this point. But
yeah, I suppose.
Globo homo pedo rulin'. They be evil. They seek ruin. America first. We got it boomin'. Ain't nothing can stop this movement. Yeah, I actually think I'm starting to side ultimately with Spotify on this one. Actually, yeah.
I don't know. You don't think?
No, this
what about
is.
Jeffrey
I
Epstein?
think this is
We're
out
gonna
of
forget
line.
Jeffrey Epstein happened. We're gonna forget about that. That guy was
Globo
connected.
homo pedo rulin'. I don't need to be told anti-Semitic tropes about pedophiles ruling America and like trying to spread like global homosexuality. Like that's like that's like no, that's textbook anti-Semitic. Like
how is that anti-Semitic?
The Globo homo thing?
Yeah, how is that anti-Semitic?
Yeah, let me look it up for you. Anti-Semitic global homo. What did he say? Pedo ruling. What's the other thing you said?
I think that's just a reference to Epstein. If I had to guess.
You know what? I may have actually.
Because you know a lot of people in the right wing, I've noticed, a lot of them use inflammatory language like that, but I don't think they really mean it. I think they're just doing it to be edgy.
I don't.
Especially
care.
people in like the, I guess the, I don't know, dissident right, America first, vague. I'm using that term very vaguely, circle. I've noticed they just use that a lot just to be edgy. And I've noticed just like normal like content creators starting to use like Augie RFC using just like saying shit like America first is inevitable just for like the shock value of it.
So don't, shit on me all over the place for quickly scrambling up an article since you actually just demanded a source from me. So let's,
ADL, oh no.
Yep, ADL, your favorite. But it's right here talking about it.
I loved it when they denied the Armenian genocide. So
Not surprisingly, posts with anti-Semitic language that included variations on terms pertaining to Zionism, Israel, Palestine, and Hamas increased most dramatically. Yeah, Globo homo. It looks like this one is.
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I'm not gonna.
I mean, it doesn't. Listen. I will. Let me. I will clarify that. I think I came on a little too strong by saying it was just anti-Semitic. I think that it could absolutely be an anti-Semitic trope, and then the anti-Semitic. The pedo ruling thing.
That's just an Epstein reference. I mean, he was connected to like 2 U.S. presidents and another guy in the U.K.
He doesn't. I don't think that's a reference to fucking.
I think that's an Epstein reference.
That's like a QAnon reference more than anything, right?
Yeah, but I don't think Patriot J's a QAnon person. I think he's just being edgy.
Well, okay. Well, if you want to be edgy by playing defense for bullshit, then I mean, if you want to admit that these people are like just grifters, then
I don't think they're grifters, especially not like
you
Bryson
just said he
Gray.
doesn't believe it, but he's just being edgy. That's like the textbook
That's not
definition
what
of
I
being.
said. That's not what I said. I think you can just be edgy and say edgy things while still maintaining core beliefs. You know,
Okay.
like earlier, I said based when you were talking about like COVID denialism. I don't deny COVID, but I was being edgy when I said that. I don't mean
Dude,
that. I'm
I
just being
have an
edgy.
appreciation for edgy humor too, but like I also recognize that like if humor is going to be edgy, it should be done well, and it shouldn't just be like edgy for the sake of it.
I think that's a reasonable critique, but I don't think just because someone's being edgy for the sake of being edgy that automatically means they mean what they're saying and they're like a Nazi or whatever or a tanky or whatever
All
you
right,
want to
well
call
I'll
them.
then let me after I will I appreciate you pushing me on this one. So let me rephrase what I said before. So the
All right.
globo homo pedo rulin thing, um, I think is a really cringy one, and I think that the globo homo is certainly really getting close to some anti-Semitic tropes for sure. That's what that one for sure set off my alarm bells. Either way, I still I'm starting to still really side with fucking Spotify here at the end of the day. Like, first this guy's spreading just like blatant nonsense about trans people, and then goes as far as to like play defense for an anti-Semitic trope, play defense for QAnon conspiracism. I mean, how long are you allowed to hide behind the it's just a song, bruh? Before it was it's just a meme, bruh. But like we've already learned that like these things can have consequences. These things can reinforce bad ideas in some sense. Now, you can talk about it maybe being inconsistent, but like Tyler the Creator might have like slurs and he might be really edgy, but he's not also like actually peddling like a political narrative that there are pedophiles running the world and there's an agenda to like make there be some like global homosexuality. I'm getting a lot of people in my chat also saying that the globo homo thing is absolutely Nazi shit.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not too familiar with, I guess, Nazi shit, quote unquote, or like actual Nazi
They're
shit.
very
I
cryptic.
just
Like what
think
the
he's being, I think he's just being edgy for the sake of being edgy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
I
I'm
think
wrong.
no, someone in chat pointed this out. Is it's very similar. It sounds very similar to the Elders of Zion, which is why that always makes me. I think is why it made me think
Well,
anti-Semitism.
I've never read Elders of Zion, so I wouldn't know. I just know it's a book that exists. That I think the Nazis used it or something.
Yeah, I did a video on it. If you ever want to check it out, where I
It was the JQ one, right?
yeah, I debunked it.
Yeah, I watched a bit of it. All I remember was at one point, I think I like clip chipped a part of it of like you saying like quoting something anti-Semitic. I think I sent it to my friend. But other than
Someone
that,
made
I
a
don't
post
remember.
of me one time where they like clipped a bunch of things out of context to make it look like I was saying like that I was to make it look like
Yeah,
I was saying that I
it
was
was
racist.
you. It was you saying, you know, it may be true that Jews do disproportionate hold amount of wealth. It was like you saying
Oh,
something like that, and I clipped it. I sent it to like all my friends, and we were laughing at it.
ah, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, I mean, oh, whatever.
Because obviously you don't agree with it. They all know who you are. They watch all my videos, so they know who you are.
I know, I know. That
I
is
kind of
funny.
wanted
I think, believe me, I find that shit funny too. I just think
I
that
kind of
like,
wanted to tweet it, but I didn't want to be bad faith or anything, so I didn't tweet it.
no, it's all right. The thing is I can tell you really believe a lot of the stuff you're saying here. It's just like again, I understand where you're coming from, and I can, at the best here, I think at the end of this conversation, the best thing we could walk away from is that maybe Spotify's being inconsistent in this one instance, possibly.
But
Sure.
would you agree with me that other social media sites can often be very inconsistent with their bannings?
Not really, no. And the thing is the only reason I'm saying it's inconsistent with Spotify is because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other fucked up music on Spotify, whereas with like YouTube and shit, like it's pretty clear what you're not allowed to do. They crack down on the people that break their rules. And then that's that. Like, just right wingers break the rules more.
Okay, one more thing. We can cap it off. What do you think about the banning of Monkey Jones?
I have no clue who that is.
He was a edgy YouTuber who wasn't really political. I know he did a few political videos. Who got unfairly banned from YouTube with no reason. They sent him like 6 strikes in like an hour to get his channel taken down. There's like conspiracies that there was like the FBI tried to get him taken down, or there's another conspiracy that somebody threatened to sue YouTube over him, and that's why they took him down. This was a
Oh,
big this
Mumkey
yeah,
Jones?
Mumkey Jones.
Was this
No,
before my time?
no, it's 2018.
Okay, got it.
Mumkey. This was 2018. Even PewDiePie made a video. Yeah, he does have a new channel. It has like 200K subs. They never took it down for whatever reason. So there's like a conspiracy that there's like
I thought it was a
FBI involvement.
false.
Wasn't false flag. YouTube like sent him like a bunch of like TOS violations, like 1 hour, and like took down all his videos and channels.
I mean, yeah, it's possible that that was unfair, but again, like this, I've never said that big tech isn't unfair sometimes, and I also never said that. Well, yeah, I said that it's not that they're like this could have absolutely been unfair, but this doesn't really prove anything as far as conservatives go.
Well, he
Like,
had some.
if anything, I
I
think
think
that
it's
this
fair
would.
to say he was right wing. I think it was fair to say that.
I thought you said
I
he
mean,
wasn't political.
he made videos on like I remember the communist survival guide. He made videos poking at that. He made a lot of videos about incels, in which he like made fun of them, but from
Okay,
like a
well, that's
right
not that
leaning
conservative. I
perspective.
mean, it's. Does he have like a? Because if this guy faced like consequences for just being like really offensive and inflammatory and edgy,
Well,
like,
his
that would
biggest
kind of
biggest
prove my
argument
point,
was
right?
his
Like
biggest
that it's just
argument.
doesn't that
His
kind of
biggest
prove my
arg.
point though?
Well, his biggest argument that it was bullshit was the fact that the videos they struck down were monetized and confirmed via manual review.
Oh yeah,
So
dude,
why?
I got stuff like that happen at first too. Their shit at first with that ad
Yeah,
thing
but
was
this
really inconsistent.
but this was very targeted. This all happened within an hour. Like they sent him 6 strikes to get like all his channels taken down.
So he had a dark style of humor. His videos containing jokes about suicide, death, child molestation, racism, autism, depression. Known for his videos about spree killer Elliot Rodger. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like he's like super political. So this kind of
He has
just
a podcast too where he talks politics.
yeah, but
Wait
that
up.
wasn't what faced consequences. So this doesn't this
No, they got
actually
demonetized too. They demonetized that channel even though he doesn't even own the channel.
so but
He just
this
appears
but this
on it.
is proving my point. You like this example is completely proving my point that it's not about like I'm conservative and I'm getting banned. It's about you violating TOS and getting banned. So
But they never told him what he like violated.
this may have been unfair or whatever. I don't know all the details. You literally just told me to look this guy up. But from what I'm seeing, it seems like it much more falls in line with what I've been saying, which is it tends to be if you cross the line, if you break TOS, you get banned. If you get super inflammatory and whatnot, that's more likely to get you banned than I'm a conservative. I like George Bush. Trump is cool. Let's go to war. Like, no, that's not the shit that gets you banned. The shit that gets you banned is hate speech and just the general violations of TOS. Now, again, I can't speak for Mumkey Jones specifically. Maybe it was unfair. Maybe it was lame. They should have probably given him more information. I know when the like ad thing happened with the confirmed manual review shit, I hated that thing, and I would have so many issues with that at first also. Everyone was. It was glitchy at first. It was really buggy. So yeah, like maybe it lacked transparency at the time or whatnot. But again, you realize that like from where we've started, which was, but conservatives are being censored and Hunter's spreading false information to
misleading articles or misleading info.
Hunter's article could have been a little clearer maybe, and this one guy got banned from Spotify who was conservative. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, that was the only thing I could get you to concede on. I mean, this would be an easier argument to make if, well, when I think you're a little defensive because, you made that speech, you got a lot of shit. I would be defensive too over that position. But if I was to like make these arguments to, I guess somebody else, I think I'd have an easier time. But
I don't know. Okay. I think that it's
all
a
right.
pretty clear-cut case. But either way,
Wait,
I
wait,
appreciate
wait,
you coming
wait.
on. This made for a great discussion, kind of intertwined a
You're
debate with fucking
Yeah, let's
segments. So
let's wrap this up. But just so we know, so you agree with me, at least with Spotify, they can be inconsistent and have some unfair bannings. You agree social media platforms can tend to sometimes be unfair and unclear.
unfair and unclear, sure, but again, not unfair like against conservatives.
All right,
Like,
so
yes, of course,
we
big tech-
made some progress here. We made some progress.
No,
here
we
compared
did.
to
The
last
thing
time.
is we didn't make any progress here. For like, this is just you hearing my opinions that I've already had all along. Go watch my original speech again. I would recommend you watch my full original speech again. Put it on 2 speed and just listen to it real quick. Because I said They need to add more transparency. Sometimes they're unfair. I'm not saying there's never bias. Literally, these are like quotes from my speech. Like, I feel that I made it pretty clear in the beginning and whatnot. But either way, man, I really appreciate the conversation.
You're welcome for the free content.
Thanks, man.
Okay, I have one more question. How often do your videos get limited ads? Because my Hunter Avalon video has like limited ads for whatever reason. I don't think it was even that bad with edginess.
I don't remember what was in there. If it had slurs, it will get limited ads.
I said like the F slur, which
Yeah.
I like just saying. Like I don't like doing like F slur or whatever. I just like saying it. But this is your platform, so I don't want to get you in trouble.
Thank you. Well, I look forward
I'll
to
watch
seeing
my
your
mouth
next
for you.
video, the comeback of Hunter Avalon, as he
Well,
blows up on
grow
Twitch.
you gotta grow a bit more. But if you start getting like averaging like 1K viewers a stream, I'll probably make it.
I know. I'm getting there, but also keep
Hunter
in mind
Avalon video gets like 100 views every day, so you know.
keep in
kind of an
mind that my
incentive.
that Twitch is about half, right? So like Twitch isn't as big as YouTube, so about like 500 viewers on Twitch is like closer to the equivalent of like 1,000 on YouTube.
True. And your TikTok, I think, is doing all right.
That's true.
From last time I checked. You put your YouTube at the bottom of your link tree, I noticed. So
Yeah.
it seems like you're trying to move away from YouTube.
I'm just not really too caught up in that. I'm more excited about Twitch right now. But
Yeah.
either way, man,
I wish
appreciate
you
coming on.
good luck. I wish you do a bit more research.
I wish you would do a bit more research too, dude.
I guess we could say that to both. I hope you take my critique that you should read the studies more, and like, because you never read the Twitter study. I think you should read the studies a bit more, and you should be
Alright.
more careful. And be a
Alright,
bit less inflammatory on Twitter. But have a good day, man. Take care.
Wait, I thought we liked inflammatory stuff.
The next day.
Just yesterday, I had a stream where I talked about big tech censorship and how I took a big W. So, as we know, with the Facebook whistleblower and everything else, we're now getting a peek into a lot of the crazy shit going on behind the scenes with Facebook. I will say right now, I did not read every single Facebook document. There is like a ton of different documents, and there absolutely is some stuff to be said about how Facebook mishandled people's data. We already know about all that shit. And then Facebook mishandling, I think it was a situation in the Middle East. They were aware that their platform was being used with very malicious intent. They basically didn't do very much to intervene there. But again, the main thing that I want to talk about right here is this article from the Wall Street Journal, which talks about Facebook's internal chat boards show politics often at center of decision making. In hot debates, employees and management spar over allegations content rules aren't enforced for Breitbart and other right-wing publishers for fear of public blowback. Other internal documents show management expressed wariness of appearing biased. Well, congratulations, conservatives. You've bitched, moaned, and whined so much about how you're the victim, you are now literally doing it. You're getting special treatment. Congratulations. Remember the good old days where it was, well, trans people want special treatment. They're asking for extra rights. Okay, conservatives, now you're the ones actually demanding it and getting it. Largely. So congratulations. So Facebook employees, as seen in large quantity of internal message board conversations, have agitated consistently for the company to act against far-right sites. In many cases, they have framed their arguments around Facebook's enforcement of its own rules, alleging that Facebook is giving the right-wing publishers a pass to avoid PR blowback. As one employee put it in an internal communication, we're scared of political backlash if we enforce our policies without exemptions. Now, let's keep this in mind here, okay? From the very, very, very beginning, from my first day one speech, I said, it's quite possible that the people working at these companies are biased themselves. They definitely, lean left, most likely. But that's not really borne out overall in, how conservatives seem to be treated, broadly speaking, on these social media platforms. All this means is that Facebook employees are unhappy with the decisions the execs are making. It doesn't change the fact that conservatives are doing better on social media platforms. This is like saying, 7-Eleven is censoring beef. Wait, really? Because every time I go to 7-Eleven, there's beef everywhere. And if you look at the metrics, it's beef is their number one selling thing. How are they censoring beef? Oh, well, there's some 7-Eleven employees that are vegan that said they really fucking hate the fact that 7-Eleven is selling beef. Okay? The Facebook employs, what, 10,000 plus employees? Like, yeah, there's probably going to be some liberals there that don't like having Breitbart on the news section or whatever. Is that actually borne out in the policies? Is that actually borne out in the algorithm? No. Facebook employees focus special attention on Breitbart, the documents show, criticizing Facebook for showcasing the site's content in News tab and for helping it to sell ads. They also alleged Facebook gave special treatment to Breitbart and other conservative publishers, helping them skirt penalties for circulating misinformation or hate speech. Right-wing sites are consistently among the best-performing publishers on the platform in terms of engagement, according to data from research firm Newswhip. So they do say that we make changes to reduce problematic or low-quality content to improve people's experiences on the platform, not because of a page's political point of view. And I could be wrong here, but I believe I saw something that the way that they even look at the page and determine like how it violates is actually based on like a file, like a back-end file, not based on like, well, they posted something pro-Trump today. Oh, but they saved themselves because they actually now looks like they're maybe leaning towards, Jeb Bush. Like, no, that's not how it is. In a farewell memo to colleagues in late 2020, a staffer in Facebook's integrity team, which seeks to mitigate harmful behavior on the platform, said Breitbart was undermining the company's effort to fight hate speech. We make special exemptions to our written policies for them, and we even explicitly endorse them by including them as trusted partners in our core products. Facebook took steps to damp the spread of what it deemed misinformation in users' feeds after the 2016 election. That included a tool called sparring sharing, which targeted hyperposters or accounts that post very frequently. I would like to know more details about that, because that to me sounds like, are you going to fucking start banning or like lowering people's ranking in the algorithm if they're just sharing like consistently? I assume when they say very frequently, they probably mean like a post every like 5 minutes kind of thing. It reduced the reach of their posts since data had shown these users disproportionately shared false and incendiary information. Okay. Facebook had implemented the change. Even though people were saying it would be too aggressive, Mr. Zuckerberg approved the change, but ordered that its effects be weakened. Another tool called Informed Engagement reduced the reach of posts that people were more likely to share if they hadn't read them. Okay, so this also makes sense to me, considering the fact that this would, of course, if it's easier for fake news to spread if you're not reading the shit, right? If you just see the headlines. The two tweaks successfully shifted the news stories users were likely to see toward a more mainstream, less volatile mix. In 2019, Facebook data scientists studied the impact of the two tools on dozens of publishers based on their ideologies. And here's what they found. They found that very conservative sites, it found, would benefit the most if the tools were removed, even though that wasn't its intent. Let's look at this for a second, because it's very likely that conservatives, you're going to see this popping up now, because conservatives are going to bring this up and they're going to be soying all over the floor about it. They're going to be like, oh! Actually, what it is that, again, this is something to slow the spread of misinformation. And it turns out that when Facebook analyzed these tools, it found the two had greater impact on far-right publishers. And you can see here that it was mainly like Breitbart that was affected. Washington Times would be affected, 18.14% likely increase. Look, Fox News is right there. Oh, come on. Look at this. The number one best is thedailywire.com. Ben Shapiro, 1.83% likely increase in audience without tools in place. So the best thing conservatives could walk away with is, well, super far-right media tends to share more misinformation, so they get affected negatively a little bit more by tools designed to reduce the spread of misinformation. That's what we have. We went from conservatives are being censored, 1984, George Orwell has risen from his grave and he's strangling us all, to, well, when you put certain tools in place to reduce the spread of misinformation, well, conservatives sometimes disproportionately get a little hurt there. Okay. Could you consider not spreading misinformation? I know it's kind of hard. Same would go to MSNBC. Why the fuck are you guys over here? Why are you getting swept up in this bullshit? Because this hyper-partisan stuff tends to be more incendiary, tends to share things that are more overtly false or completely misleading. And that's it. I mean, it's literally like, so some more conservatives were affected, again, because more conservatives are spreading misinformation. And I know the same question is going to come up. Well, what's considered misinformation? I don't know. Daily Wire and Fox News seem to be doing pretty good. Maybe you guys can go a little that route, you know? Stop with the whole, the vaccine is made out of bugs that are going to impregnate us. And go a little bit more like, I'm just a good old conservative being fiscally responsible. Reagan was kind of cool, and I like bald eagles. Like, come on. It's because this hyper-partisan shit shares more misinformation. And also, you can look at the tools in place and the way that they sort of rate pages, and a lot of it is based on the ranking of that page. And considering considering the fact that Breitbart ranks very low. So yeah, basically we're just back to the exact first point I made in the very beginning, which was conservatives aren't algorithmically banned. There's not like this malicious intent to silence the conservatives. In fact, quite the opposite, it looks like. And now the best thing we have is, well, conservatives spread more misinformation, which is exactly what I've been saying all along, is they break TOS more, so they end up getting like negatively impacted more. Yeah, it just is just conservatives. Again, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, man. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified when I drop a new video.